Hello, good morning everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you for tuning in, really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers as always. Gratitude to anybody new. Thank you for joining me. This video is about head movement, right? Specifically slipping. We're going to be talking about slipping. I brought in my old trainer, friend, major blessing in my life, Jihad Abdul Aziz.
Well, as you know, boxing is an art. And that art of boxing is to hit without getting hit.
Yeah.
Even though you're gonna get hit. So one of the ways to avoid getting hit is you have to move your head. So even if you're punching, you gotta move your head assuming that he's gonna try to counter punch you. If you're not punching, you can't stand still. So you still have to move your head.
He's the former professional boxer, right? Still a coach now, but he's trained at the highest level. Trained Tony Bellew for when he was a world champion, and he's also had some tremendous fighters throughout his day. So he's got some superb knowledge on head movement.
If you were starting out, what would you recommend for a beginner to practice head movement?
Well, especially number one, you have to have his form right.
Form
Right. To slip those punches.
Right.
You know, in other words, if he's a right hand, his hand will be up. And you will practice side to side, as if something coming straight to you.
And shout out to you, Jihad. Thank you very much for letting me film you. And I'll be talking more about him later on because I've been trying to get back in shape a little bit, so we hit the pads a bit. And I was trying to get him to, you know, bring some head movement gems in so I could relay it on to you.
Him roll out the last.
Also, Don Saxby, inspirational man, and he's, you know, a friend of mine that I ask in the gym on a daily what I can do, or, you know, just randomly, just, you know, if I'm need a bit of advice or a bit of help, and Jihad's not there, you know, those two guys have been a major blessing in my life. So I try to get the information from them to bring it to you, so, you know, you guys can get better as well. So, but this channel is for beginners. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what a slip is and how you can basically get the technical standpoint on how to perform a slip, what a slip does, how to practice it, and by the end of the video you're going to have a really good understanding of what head movement and slipping is, and how you, the beginner, can, you know, implement it in your game and get better immediately as a boxer, because head movement is a major part of defense and offense, but specifically defense. So anyway, I've been rambling a bit, let's go.
So one of the ways to avoid getting hit is you have to move your head.
Boxing.
Sorry for the long intro. I just really find it important that you know what the premise of the video is about, because the thumbnail does say move your head like a pro. The pro's definitely not me, it's definitely Jihad, but you know, as I said, I was able to get some really good information from him so I could relay it to you. So let's start off with what actually is a slip. It is really going to be very, very hot these next couple of days. It's supposed to be 105 degrees tomorrow in New York, and it's not even 7 a.m. here, and it's already heating up nicely. But let's talk about what a slip is, right? A basic slip is when you just slip like this. You move your head to the side, side to side.
Basic slipping. So if you jab, you stop it. Side to side. Jab. Side, side. Keeping your hands up, not down. Side, side, roll, no, hands up.
Right? Now, you are slipping and evading the straight punches that are coming at you, yeah?
Side, side, as if something coming straight to you. Side, side. You gotta keep your eyes on them. You can't. That punch is coming straight. You see it. You know? Side, side.
Slipping the straight punches, right?
Slips like this is for the straighter punches.
If you think about a jab coming in like that, slip to the side, across, slip to the side.
Slip, slip, good. Slip, slip. Good, nice movement, slip, slip, good.
And you could slip a jab either way as well, but the slip is just a little movement like this, side to side, right, where you're evading the straight punches. That's just a basic principle of a slip.
Slip to that side, just a slight movement, like nice, delicate movement. There you go. Boom, boom. Other side. Slip, slip.
Just understand when you're slipping, you're evading the straight punches, right? Now, how do you slip and why do you slip? Well, the why is halfway there as well, or a portion of it is to evade the straight punches, right? How? Now, I'm going to bring in some of the clients that I've been shooting over the last 4 or 5 days, and shout out to everybody. Big up Joshua, big up Russell, big up Jeff, big up Fish. And as I do 3 or 4 parts of different videos on head movement, I want to bring those guys in every single time. I just want to show my immense gratitude to them. They've been really trying to get, you know, improvement in all their game, but specifically just head movement, which I worked on a lot. And shout out to Fish, he's a newcomer. I trained him a couple of years ago. He's just come back into the frame.
So it's like slip, slip, pivot. There we go. Good. When you're stepping that way, lead with your right foot. That's it. There you go.
And I'll be talking about rolling with him because I caught some footage where he was having trouble moving his foot, just to help him roll.
Jab, cross, roll. Do it again. Cross, roll. You want to step before you roll, right? Yeah. So we'll slow it down because that's what's messing your balance up. So slow it down, right, and as you're doing that, step at the same time. Exactly, beautiful. So 1, 2, there we go.
I'm more on that at a later date, but big shout out to those guys. I'm going to bring in footage of me shooting jabs at them and them, you know, slipping.
Move that head. I'm going to try and hit you now. Good, relax a little bit though.
And I'm going to talk about something that a couple of them were doing, you know, just being a bit overly, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, just moving too much, being overly erratic perhaps, you know, doing big movements like this.
Keep going. See, when that happens, that's when you got to really control it too. I'm gonna try and hit you now. Good, relax a little bit though. If you're doing it overly, if you're overexerting on head movement like you just were, you're not breathing really either, you know? You're doing these big movements, which sometimes is inevitable, you know, if someone throwing massive shots at you, but the smoother and the more balanced and the more relaxed you are, the better.
Which is creating, you know, you're going to be more tired doing that, right? You need to relax a bit more when you're doing slipping. And I'm going to show you this clip right now in a pro fight where Tevin Farmer, tremendous fighter, I really love watching him fight. His head movement is so silky. And if you look at this shot right here, he doesn't have to go far to evade the shot. In fact, that's the whole point I'm about to get onto, is like, when you are slipping, you don't have to go far. You just have to be nice and relaxed, right? Side to side, simple movements. The farther you go up like this to the side, then the longer you're taking to get the punch back if you are punching back, or the longer you're taking to get back into your stance, right? I don't need to slip up here and up here.
You don't want to slip over here and up too high. You want to slip here, slip here.
Just enough to this.
Slightly going into the punch a little bit. The more you are away like that, the more you're going to take time, the more you're bringing your chin in the air.
I need to slip here, right? Now you're going slightly into the punch. Very, very important to know that. And you don't want to bring your chin in the air either.
And the head movement, just short and smooth, yeah? You don't have to go so far. In fact, if you throw a jab at me, right, and I slip out here, I'm going too far. It's going to take me longer to get the counter. But if you throw a jab there, and I slip here, bing, I'm going shorter. The shorter the distance, the more time I have to get my shot off, the less time you have to react to it.
And like I said, I'm going to be bringing clips in from demonstrations from the clients. I also spoke to Don mid-session, which is what I usually do sometimes. If I'm trying to get confirmation on something, I'll ask him right there and then. And I was training Russell. Shout out to you, long time friend and you know, trainer really. Trainer, when I say me and him have trained for a while, and he's been a little inconsistent from time to time, but we're trying to get back in shape together right now. But you know, he basically, I was saying, Don, what do you think of this head movement? And I was showing him, and he was like, it's pretty good. And shout out to you, Russ, his head movement was good. And when Don says that, he doesn't mince his words.
Don, a little tip for him with head movement, right? Can you offer some advice? Not bad, right? Yeah. I was telling him like to
Sometimes it slip like pull back.
Yeah.
Slip, pull, sometimes slip, step away. Real quick, make him reach.
And when you slip, I always tell him slightly into the punch, right?
Slip into the punch.
Yeah.
And he really means it, you know, and it was a high praise. But he also clarified going into the punch, right? You want to go slightly into it. And I'm not talking leaning into it like this, and I'll bring up a clip where Joshua went too far forward.
But you want to go slightly forward, right? Especially when you're slipping. Just not that much. Just like this, because what you don't want to do is, I don't want to go sideways like this, right? Because my body's kind of locking itself out. So if you throw a cross, here, I'm like, bing, right? And then you throw a hook, boom, boom, boom. But I'm never going up or sideways like that. It's just a slight forward like this.
You know, you don't want to bring yourself into the punch like this.
Right, so when you slip that way, still a little too far forward. Just like 2%, really. Boom, good.
It's just very slightly, and I'm going to zoom in and show you a different shot where I can explain what I mean and bring up footage from the gym. So what should you do to do this, right? As a beginner, well, you need a good stance, right? Well, you need a really good stance to begin with, right? What does that mean? You just got to make sure you have your balance under you, right? You don't want to be too upright. You want to be nice, relaxed in your shoulders too, and you're just going to slip from side to side, right? That is a basic principle, going slightly forward, right? Meaning I'm 2%, the punch is coming here and I'm going into it. You're turning your hips, right? I'm going to bring up some footage from Jihad where I tried to get him to demonstrate it.
So if you jab, stop it, side to side.
Yeah. That's the knees too, the hips, the torso?
Exactly. Jab, side to side. Even when you roll.
Yeah.
Keeping your hands up, not down. Side to side, roll, no, hands up. Jab, side to side. Keeping your hands up, not down. Side to side.
And if you look, you're not just using your upper body twisting like this. In fact, you don't want to do that because you want to move, right? But your whole body's moving. If I'm just going like this, it's a little awkward and too rigid. I don't want to move my torso side to side. I want to turn it while I'm moving side to side, and that's a big difference. And it's something that, from a technical standpoint, as a beginner, you should really pay attention to. Is when I'm moving like this. Look at the hips are turning, right? They're turning, the shoulders are turning. I'm going side to side. And if you're practicing, I'll get onto that in a small second. And maybe I'll make another video on slipping because there's a lot of information I'm trying to pack as much into, a reasonably shortish video. So without making a really long video and having it all in there, I can chop it up and really do it piece by piece because it is a complex, head movement's a complex part of boxing. It really is. You don't just move your head for defense. Of course, that's the main reason, but you can move it for defense and offense, which is what that Tevin Farmer clip was a perfect example of. Slipping a punch and coming back with his own, which creates, opportunities for you. But really, head movement is for, evading punches.
As you know, boxing is an art. And that art of boxing is to hit without getting hit.
Yeah.
even though you're gonna get hit. So one of the ways to avoid getting hit is you have to move your head. So even if you're punching, you got to move your head, assuming that he's gonna try to counter punch you. If you're not punching, you can't stand still, so you still have to move your head.
You know, making yourself elusive, but you need coordination for that. This is a very coordinated part of defense.
Get your hands right, and then movement, it gotta be together. Because it makes more sense that it's completed in the beginning, because you will be making up for it when you start off and just throwing punches and not moving your head. Do it together, practice it together.
Yeah, it's a big coordination thing, right? Coordination is a huge thing with head movement and footwork as well, and your hands.
Is head movement when you're coordinating your feet too, and that's why, you know, it is a deep subject where I'm just going to keep it small and simple. And actually, in a moment, I'm going to get into practicing, because I'll do part 2, 3, 4, maybe even part 5 as this channel grows. And shout out to all the new subscribers, and shout out to anybody that's reaching out to me and asking me questions. I really appreciate it. That Discord server and the Patreon is coming up very soon. It's about 70% done. I have it up, and then anyone can join. You can ask me directly, and it can be a real help you self-improve and get the best version of yourself. I am going to be here for you guys, you know what I mean? And if you have, you know, any questions for me directly, I can set you up on, you know, basically a program to help you get better. You can ask me questions about self-improvement, boxing, all of it. Self-love, discipline, technique, workout, whatever it is, I'll be here for you, and it's going to be up very, very soon. But let's get on to the practicing part. All right, practicing. What I would do is stand still, keep yourself stood still, right? Just get used to the motion of moving left and right. As I said, don't go up here and don't go up here. Just, I'm here, my chin is tucked. I'm going side to side, nice and simple, with your hands up. And that's really important. A couple of things Jihad was doing, he caught me doing.
Don't do this, always do this.
In the pad workout, I'll leave the pad workout at the end actually if anyone's interested, but I was doing this at one point, you know. This is a bit of a mistake. It's really gonna not do you any favors, because when you're here and you're really protected, I can move my feet and move my head like this, and you're gonna be very hard to hit, you know. So you got to make sure you keep your hands up when you're practicing. Keep the movements smooth and short, you know. As I said, the further away you are from slipping, the further away and the longer it's going to take you to get that punch back, the more out of balance you're going to be. So I'm just here nice and simple, right? I don't need to move my feet yet. And as a beginner, when you're practicing, you should definitely do that. You know, just keep your feet still, understand, try to get the rhythm and the coordination, moving those shoulders, you know. They don't have to go all the way like this, but side to side, invoking the footwork, you know, invoking the full body. I'll change the angles now. I'm going side to side, my knees are turning a little bit, right? My hips are rotating, and I'm just going side to side, right? Nice and rhythmical. Just practice that a lot, and just try to turn nice and smooth, yeah? And just very small movements. You could just practice that for 5, 10, 15 minutes at a time. Just getting the rhythm, right? Keeping your chin tucked and having that nice fluidity. And I'll get onto the rolls in a separate video, because the rolls are, you know, for the hooks coming in, evading the hooks, or any other punches too, you know. You could have a 1-2 come in, slip the 1, roll the 2. I know it's common to go slip, roll, or a slip the 1, slip the 2, but there's a debate to be had whether you should slip the 1 and roll the 2, but that's more higher level. I'll get into that, as I said, but just the basic combinations.
What about a complete beginner that's just shadow boxing, just practicing side to side?
Always.
Yeah.
If you want to get it right from the beginning, at the start, you have to start from the beginning. Same thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can't wait to get your hands right and then movement. It got to be together.
Yeah.
Because it makes more sense that it's completed in the beginning, because you will be making up for it when you start off and just throwing punches and not moving your head. Do it together. Practice it together.
Man, the sun's really coming out now. I hope you guys can see me. I'm having a difficult time not squinting my eyes, but I just wanted to say, A big thank you to Jihad Abdul Aziz, you know, is a major blessing in my life. A big thank you to Don, major blessing in my life. I wouldn't be able to do this channel, and I wouldn't be here trying to pass the information on if it wasn't for those guys. There's more people in the gym that have influenced me and inspired me, of course, but directly, Jihad trained me for years, and almost everything that I know comes from him. And I just want to say a massive, huge thank you. And you know, he's not just a friend, he's like a father figure to me. And I just wanted to just show my respect, because he's a major blessing to me, as is Don, mentor. And you know, as I said, I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this and pass any information on. And as I said, I always ask them on a daily basis if I don't know stuff, or if you guys ask me stuff, I can ask them. And they have competed from a training aspect at the highest level, and they're constantly, especially Don, you know, Jihad, bless his soul, man, he had some real hard injuries and severe health problems I won't go into, but it certainly derailed his training career for a while. And I hope he really, you know, finds his groove again. I know he's been training a little bit, and it's amazing to see. So I'm going to be back in there with him. I try to get in there on a weekly basis and do the pads because I want to get better. And I'm going to show you a clip at the end where I'll give myself about a 4 out of 10. I haven't been hitting the pads a lot, to be honest with you, and it really showed. So I know I can do a lot better than that, and a part of this channel is for you, the beginner, and whoever's watching, to get the best out of yourself, be as self-disciplined and have as much self-love as you possibly can. And I'm really trying to push that onto people. If you are new, subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. It's way more than a boxing channel, you know. This is about self-improvement, and I'm gonna do it through this channel. So next time you see me in a few months from now on the pads, I'm going to be better, because it's my goal to get a lot better, so I can, you know, live what I speak through the channel, so you guys can hopefully get some ideas and improve yourself as well. And that's why I'm so eager to get you guys on the Discord and the Patreon. You know, it's going to be a low level entry fee, like $5 or something like that, but when you do start, I want to see you guys improve, and I want you guys to send me videos and where I can critique it and go, okay, you should work on this and get better, because I just want people to get better and get the best out of themselves. I really do. I can't stress it enough, you know. And that's why people ask me questions. I'm always answering every question, and I'll make videos about them, and I'll continue to do that, because I've just, you know, I've been put here on this earth to help people. You know what I mean? I can't really make it any more clearer than that. But that's it from me today. You know, I just want to say thank you if you made it this far. It means the world to me. I'm going to leave a piece of music at the end of this as well that I made. It's called Keep Striving, which is something that I'm going to keep doing. I want you to keep doing. And if you like that piece of music, I'm going to offer a free download, and there's going to be a link in the description that you can just have it. So if you're working out, maybe it'll give you some inspiration if you really like it, and it gets you somewhere in a better place, then by all means, that track is yours to download, and it's from me to you. And if you made it this far, it means you really want to, you know, get a better version of yourself. So that's important to me. But for now, I'm going to leave the clip with Jihad and me training on Saturday. As I said, I don't normally do this. I'm very self-critical. I gave myself about a 3 or 4 out of 10, but it's not too bad considering I haven't really been doing the pads at all. Maybe 3 times in about the last 5 years. I say 10 years. It might even be closer to 7, really, because I stopped doing pad work altogether. And then I just got back up with him a few weeks back, and I was like, oh my God. So I've been getting better already, but this is not very good. Nonetheless, here it is. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
I'm like, I just came back. Right, add that.